Hey, what's going on everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another Rising video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at all the changes that happened today. We have a new event, we have new shop additions, and most importantly, we actually have some buffs to exotic weapon drop rate, we have some buffs to some basic rewards, as well as pinnacle rewards. So overall, you're just going to be getting more rewards after this update. So we're going to be taking a quick look at all these patch notes and just kind of discussing them. So first of all, let's start with the most important thing, or what matters to me the most, which is the economy and resources and how they're getting better. So now with this update, you are going to have an increased chance of actually getting exotic weapons from different activities. Now for your pinnacle rewards, you are going to have an increased chance of receiving exotic weapons from strikes, gauntlet blitz, shifting gates, and all the rewards at level 6 or higher. So if you have been keeping up with the level cap every day as it gets raised, you should be at level 6 already. So as soon as the update goes live, we should see the increased chances on these activities immediately. And at the end, once the game actually comes back online, I am going to go in and show you the actual numbers, because I don't think they say any numbers in the actual update. They say increased chances. And it looks like the legendary campaign missions have also gotten their exotic weapon rate actually increased as well. So there's actually quite a lot of different activities. The legendary campaign, the strikes, the gauntlet blitz. I think gauntlet blitz is going to be an amazing one to actually have increased chances, since it does give you a lot of the really good mythics as well. Gauntlet blitz might be the play when it comes to going for exotics as well as just getting some good mythics in the way. Not only do they do that, but also now basic rewards have a chance of receiving exotic weapons. So now you no longer are tied to just pinnacle rewards. Just by claiming the basic rewards, you will always have a chance of getting an exotic weapon. And you'll be able to get this from strikes, gauntlet blitz, shifting gates, all at rewards 5 or higher. So it's actually even lower than the pinnacle one. This is going to be really good. It kind of sucked that you had to have pinnacle energy to even have a chance of getting some exotics, especially with the really drop rates they had. Now, I really don't expect this to be super high. If anything, maybe 1%, maybe half a percentage. By just having the option and it being possible for you to actually get exotics with base rewards, I think it's going to be great. And now you'll also be able to get exotic weapons as a basic reward from Singularity Chaos, which is really good because it was one of the few activities where you couldn't get exotics just at all. But you are going to have to be level 6 or higher with your rewards. So again, if you've been keeping up with the level cap, this should be something that you reached already. I think it's level 56 where level 6 starts, so that should give you an idea. They also increase the base rewards for Morgan Spray on Heroic whenever you're at reward level 6 or higher. And overall, it looks like they're just increasing the amount of rewards to get for the basic rewards, which is just really good because it just kind of felt kind of bad that as soon as you ran out of pinnacle energy, even if you still could do the activities, you barely get anything. So I'm just really glad that they're buffing these basic rewards. Adding the exotics to basic rewards, I think is really the huge one though. And I can definitely see people just grind a bunch of strikes after they add a pinnacle energy, just trying to get some of those exotic weapons. And at the very end of the video, like I said, when the game is actually up, we'll actually get in the game and show you actual percentages that they actually change. Now there's actually a new event coming with this update, and from it you're going to be able to get the Patronage Sky, the exotic sword. So if you're looking for an exotic sword for your shoulder, Patronage Sky is going to be something that you can use. Now, is it going to be as good as the Huckleberry? We'll have to wait and see. I didn't really use it too much during the alpha and beta, so I don't really remember too much about this weapon. So we're going to have to wait and see. But you are going to be able to get it with this event. It doesn't really say what the event is about, so we'll have to actually get in game to actually see that. And they actually lowered the difficulty of Gauntlet Onslaught, the final boss in the raid. They actually lowered it, and they lowered the combat intensity in the Nexus Interference Strike. I feel like the strike was fine the way it is. I could definitely see why they would tone down, but I can definitely see why they would tone down the final raid boss. I hear a lot of people have been struggling with him, especially in the matchmaking. I got into the matchmaking, and you see some crazy things in the matchmaking. So I can definitely understand them trying to lower the difficulty of the final boss so people can actually get their clears. Some of the other changes we have here is that they weaken the Ogre's Rampage ability. That is that ability that makes them heal once they're low on health. So now you'll be able to actually kill them a little bit easier, even with that ability is active or is being activated. And the frontline event now just will auto reset if it's not completed in 30 minutes. That's fine. And then we have a couple of other fixes, like improving the display of the heir apparent when it's heating up, added an effect description to the weapon perk vector allocation, and also adding a bit more DPS to sidearms, which definitely felt very weak. Unless you were using the exotic sidearms with Win, it felt like you were not even doing anything with your sidearms. They did so little damage that basically forced you to like actually main the shotgun. In things like the raid, when you were like really underpowered, the shotgun was essentially like the only weapon you really had. They also added an artifact archive, kind of like the archives you have currently with weapons and characters, but you can just look at all of them. Now you'll be able to do that with the artifacts as well, which is definitely very useful because going to the Realm of the Nine to use look at the artifacts was kind of annoying. And it looks like they made a couple like small changes to characters. One Way's Weapon Mastery now gives you an additional instance of weapon damage instead of just increased damage. They also added a 0.1% cooldown to the Flare Energy mechanic on Tank 2. And now you can unlock Weapon Mastery level 5 at Acclaim level 25. And I have no idea what it was actually at before, because we never even got to that point in the game. And lastly, we have a bunch of fixes, character ability fixes, system and feature fixes. These are basically all the things that just weren't working right. And the full list can be accessed straight from your menu. So now once the game is actually up, we'll actually get in there and actually take a look at these new rates. Now the game is up, so let's actually take a look at these activity rates and just how they change. And let's start with Haven Ups. How the strikes looking now. It looks like they actually went up to 3% from the 1%. So, you know, it is a little better. Gauntlet Blitz is also 3%. So it looks like they're probably going to be upping all of these rates to use 3%. And it looks like the base reward is going to be around 1%. So the base reward is essentially what the old Pinnacle reward actually used to be, which is actually really good. I forgot to check in the strikes as well in the Haven Ups, but I imagine it's probably going to be the same. Yep, it's the same. 1.02%. Let's check the Legendary campaign. Yeah, let's check the Legendary campaign. How's it looking here? It's looking about the same. It's looking about the same in the Legendary campaign. I don't know why it just doesn't show the exotic drop rate. This was actually here last time, so I have no idea. I don't know if this just hasn't been updated, but they can actually drop. I'm gonna have to try that out later because they did mention it in the patch notes. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that one because it looks like this one is completely unchanged, at least from the preview right here. Oh yeah, Shifting Gates is the other one that got a bit of a buff. And oh, that's much better. Shifting Gates used to be just like such a low, just ridiculous drop rate that it wasn't even worth it. But now it being at 3% and 2.7 at level 5, it's actually pretty good. It's much better and more in line with, you know, the rest of the stuff in the game. So the new drop rates are actually looking pretty good. And now that we completed the new light book, the whole game is going to be opening up. And there's going to be a lot. Once you get to level 70, you're going to get hit by so many new systems that it might be a little bit overwhelming. So we're going to be making some videos on all of these new ones. So thank you for watching today. Thank you for stopping by for this short video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.